Hey, good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the show. Today, I am going to talk about living a life of meaning and passion. I've changed a number of things in my business lately, and I've done quite a bit of travel. Had a lot of chance to reflect on living a life of meaning, and just want to share those lessons with you. Welcome to Real Estate Investing Secrets. We're all looking for freedom and the opportunity to live better, more fulfilling lives. But most of us were trained our entire lives to work for someone else and chase their dreams. How can we use real estate investing as a vehicle to achieve financial freedom? My life is dedicated to answering your real estate investing questions and helping you build an investing business that allows you to change your life and the world around you, and to enable you to turn your dreams of financial freedom into a reality. My name is Mike Hambright from FlipNerd.com, and your questions get answered here on the Real Estate Investing Secrets Show. What's up, everybody? Hey, just wanted to share some lessons. I've been traveling quite a bit. Here we are. It's already August, and I've done quite a bit of travel this summer, and been super busy working behind the scenes and late at night and whatever has to get done. Really, honestly, I'm launching a new business, but it's not all that different from what I've done in the past. However, I think it's going to revolutionize the industry. I'll tell you a little bit about that. This isn't meant to be pitchy, but really, I've just had a lot of chance to reflect on everything I've done over the past 11 years and kind of living a life of meaning. And for those of you that know me, we've maybe had this conversation before, some variation of it. And that is, there's a lot of hype on social media about real estate investing, the hustle, like all that stuff. And I work as hard as anybody I know, but I'm not in this for the hustle, right? I think if you're trying to do what Gary Vee says, I like a lot of Gary Vee stuff, but like working your face off, that's not what any of us signed up for. And there's a guy that I know that has had a pretty decent level of success, and I saw him out, recording a video putting bandit signs up the other day, and it's like, dude, that's like a $5 an hour job. So if you're celebrating the fact that you're doing a $5 an hour job, there's something wrong with you. Like, you got to reflect on what this is all for, right? So as I kind of reflect back, in the early days, I mean, don't get me wrong, when we started our business, we were in survival mode, like fired from corporate America, had a new baby, had no insurance, like all that stuff, and dwindling savings quickly because we were just burning it. We had no income coming in, and we had to work hard for a long time. We've worked hard for years, right? But it's a different kind of hard. Like, I've been thinking a lot about what drives me, and everybody asks, what is your why? And I've had a hard time answering that truthfully for a while now. And I could say it's for my family, and everything I do is for my family, but I don't work this hard for my family. Like, they don't need me to work this hard. I don't have to work as hard as I used to anymore. And so that really isn't my driver. And if I say that, and if you're saying that, and you don't have to work as hard as you used to, then you need to reflect on that a little bit, because that may really not be what's driving you. And it's not money anymore either. Now, don't get me wrong, I love money. I love to make money. Everything I do has to ultimately make money, has to have a business case behind it. But it's not about the money anymore. This is not about survival anymore. And we're fortunate for that, but we worked really hard to earn that. And so for me, it's, if I reflect on it, and I've had a lot of time to, I've been listening to some Tony Robbins stuff, and it's really about serving other people. It's about living a life of meaning, but through serving other people one way or another. And I've done that for a long time in the coaching space. I do it now through Investor Fuel. Our Investor Fuel Mastermind is next week in San Diego, so really pumped to have, we're going to have about 150 people from all across the country out there next week. It's going to be an amazing time. But through the mastermind, I've been able to help other people kind of act the role as an advisor and a connector to highly accomplished real estate investors. For new students, I've done this for a long time for helping people get started. And the truth is I have coached a tremendous amount of successful people, but the reality is that there's a lot of people that have failed in there too. And that's probably one of the things that's been making me reflect on this a lot lately, is I sometimes I'm just disappointed or don't have as much joy in coaching new people, specifically those that, we have a blueprint, like do this, here's exactly how to do it. Let's meet every week. Let's get together physically in a room every month. We have something called Fly In Friday, where people fly in from all over the country, and we have a room full of people just answering their questions. And those that take action, those that show up to those things, are fantastic. It's the ones that disappear and make excuses why they can't get started and all that I hate. And that honestly is just it's part of the industry. It's part of human psychology of people just throwing money at something and buying a gym membership and never going, despite the fact that we say this is hard work, you got to show up, you've got to work hard, you've got to do these things, you got to follow the system. Life gets in the way sometimes, and sometimes people just, they don't want it bad enough. And what I found over almost 10 years of coaching people that have done thousands and thousands of deals, honestly, is that I can't want it more than they want it. And so, but I will say that I find absolute joy in folks that have come in and been able to leave their jobs, been able to achieve that financial freedom, which is offsetting their income. I love that stuff. And so one of the missing links that we've had for a long time, and I'll just kind of share with you what we've been working on. One of the big things we've been working on, and of course we're always working on improving the things that we're already doing, is I've never really partnered with people in my real estate investing business, and other than my wife, and I have lots of great friends and lots of members of our Investor Fuel Mastermind that are partners, and I've toyed around a lot with partnering with people, the idea behind it, what is the value that I add, what would I need them to add, and it's really been kind of tied into virtual investing, going into markets and maybe lots of other markets. And so one of the missing links that I have known of for a long time but was just difficult to kind of pull off is handling the things that the average real estate investor is, one, not good at and doesn't do it consistently, and two, hates doing, right? A lot of the front end of the business of consistent lead generation, which is absolutely critical to this business and really any small business, finding new customers, and all the upfront administrative burden that's a pain in the butt, being on call to answer calls for people that just say take me off the list, or who the F are you, or whatever. And it's a burden just being on call. Like, it's something I had to live with for a long time before I used VAs and had a team to outsource that before I could scale to that level. But when you're small, a lot of times you can't justify an admin up front to do all that. And then of course some of the really hard stuff to do that is a little less competitive, so you have a competitive advantage if you crack the code on it, and that is mass generating leads from hustle tactics like cold calling, text message marketing, driving for dollars, like all those things. It's easy to order a bunch of mail, not easy, but relatively easy. What's a pain in the butt is managing all the lists. So anyway, with I've been working on this model for a while that really is for more experienced investors, those that have been doing deals, and we're formally launching it. We have formally launched it. I have brought in some, we call them members, and we're effectively partnering with them. So we have an advertising agency where we generate leads for them, and we make their phone ring. We take all the calls up front. We do all the lead intake. We manage the CRM, all the systems. Another thing that a lot of real estate investors get hung up on is setting up systems and using them properly. And so we manage and maintain all that front end. Every single seller that calls and says, take me off the list, or I'm just trying to save my realtor commission, or all those things, like our partners will never see that. So we refer to them as members because it's a co-op. But effectively, we run the front end of real estate investor businesses. Now we're piloting this literally as we speak. Our lead generation, our advertising agency has already been working hard to get this going, but on August 1st, which is the time I'm recording this, is tomorrow, we flip the switch and leads will start coming in for our member partners. Here in the Dallas-Fort Worth market, we have 7 member partners to start, and we'll be adding some more, and we're going to start growing this. I mean, honestly, word of mouth has spread a little bit that we're doing this, and so we already have people all over the country that are inquiring about it. So it's super exciting. I can call it a beta test, but I have absolutely 100% confidence that we will hit a couple speed bumps and we'll work through them, but this will work. We will have a partner named Jason that some of you guys will meet eventually on the show. I'm going to start talking about this more and more. By the way, we call this whole thing the Investor Machine. I've used that brand in the past for some of my high-end kind of coaching programs, but we've recycled that brand. It's the Investor Machine, THEInvestormachine.com if you wanted to learn more about it. But my partner Jason runs the agency side, and I run a whole bunch of other components of the business. We don't have to get into that. But my point is we have this dialed in to where it will run with more precision than what any individual investor is able to do. And so in terms of fulfillment, I mean, there will be money to be made, all that, no doubt, but it's a way for us to help experienced real estate investors like nobody else is doing. Nobody does this. There are advertising agencies that will order mail for you. There are agencies that will run your pay-per-click. There are contractors that will do your SEO, all that stuff. We bring it all together. We're a full agency for every component. We literally hire driving for dollars people in the markets that are driving around, capturing addresses. We're skip tracing them and text message marketing and cold calling them. Nobody is doing that for other people, right? And so we know that we're really onto something here. And cooperatively, all of our members come together in a community to share ideas of what's working now and things like that. So pretty exciting because, in the coaching space, everybody and their brother's a coach. So I'm always up against like, well, this guy I've never heard of that's done 4 deals is charging less for his coaching program. Okay. And with masterminds, I love Investor Fuel more than anything that I've ever done. Nothing is changing there. We have relentless focus on creating an amazing experience for people. And really that is my second family. And so this is a way for us through the Investor Machine to help real estate investors unlike anybody is doing right now. There's no competition other than people doing it themselves for the most part. And the truth is there will be competition, right? Somebody will try to crack the code on this, but the execution of this is very difficult, very difficult. It took the unique experience that I have from building a national system in the past and building large communities of people and running an agency that Jason has. And, just finding the right mix of people to pull this off. And so pretty excited about it. What I'm going to do is I'm recording this right now. I'll put it on Facebook Live, but also this is a podcast, a show that we share on the Flip Nerd Real Estate Investing Secrets channel. And in shows ahead, I'm going to document how this is working, right? What do our lead generation efforts look like? Let's do some case studies on first deals. Let's talk to some of our members and see how they're doing, all in an effort to try to help you in your business. And so we'll share what's working and what's not working, and keep you up to date. So this is the most exciting thing that I've worked on in quite some time, and I'm really excited to have I like to create, if you haven't figured this out already, networks and communities of people. And some of it stems from, I was talking to somebody else about this the other day, that when you have a certain level of success, I'm not saying any of these things to brag. I've been very blessed. We've worked really hard to build our business. And what makes it hard now is it's hard for me to create, maybe this is me. My wife and I have been talking about this. We just did a really long road trip earlier this week, last, I guess, Sunday. Back from Colorado, we drove to Texas, and we talked a lot about just like, we don't have a lot of friends to hang out with. I mean, that's going to sound crazy to some of you that are listening right now. I have thousands of acquaintances. I go to any sort of real estate event, and people that I don't know or don't recognize know who I am. That's cool, and I like that. I appreciate everybody, and I have a huge network, and I'm very blessed for that. And I have lots of good friends that I would do anything for, but not enough of the type of friends that it's like our families are traveling together, we're going to dinners together, we're hanging out on the weekends together, all that stuff. And I have lots of very good friends, and we have friends in our neighborhood, but it's just different. Partly because I'm an entrepreneur, and many of them may still have jobs. Partly because if I say we just got back from, for example, a week in Vail, and they're like, didn't you just go to Europe the month before that for like a month? I'm like, yeah. Didn't you go snowmobiling in Yellowstone before that, and a ski trip before that? And yeah, I'm sorry. So sometimes I feel like just talking about my life and travel and especially travel, all the things that we do, a lot of people can't relate to that unless they're self-employed and they have a successful business that enables them to do that. And so sometimes it's hard to gel well with people. And so truthfully, one of the things that I've done, if you kind of look at all the networks I've created, is these networks are loaded with my friends, people that I love and would do anything for, people that I trust and would help in any way I can ever. And so, absent of me having this amazing network of close friends here in my community, Not that I don't have any friends, by the way. I have lots of friends, but it's just different, right? Like, I gel well with people that get me and they get the entrepreneurial struggle, and they've been through it too. And we all have, arrow wounds in our back, and we can talk about how we've overcome that. There's a different level of respect when you're around people like you that have overcome some of the same obstacles, people that were willing to risk it all and constantly risk it all for something bigger and better than what they have today. And so anyway, as part of the Investor Machine, I will help a lot of people through that struggle, and we'll help each other. I learn from everybody I work with, even if they have less experience than me, for sure. And so it will bond us in a way like Investor Fuel or some of the other things that we've done. So this is my signature. Between Investor Fuel and the Investor Machine, I'm happier than I was going to use a little off color. I'm pretty happy with the way things are going. I love my life, and I started this by saying to live a life with meaning. If you don't really know what your why is, and not to sound kind of cheesy and cliche-ish there, figure it out. And it might be serving other people. It probably is not about serving just you, because that gets old. And so anyway, if you're watching this on Facebook, or if you're not, we'll add a link in the show notes. Comment down below on what drives you to live a life of meaning. It could be giving back to your church, any charities you're involved with, or interests that you care passionately about. It could be helping other people. It could be all those things, right? But I feel like too many real estate investors on social media and in real life are very self-serving. Now, it could be a lot of them are at the very beginning of their business. Actually, that is probably true to some extent. And they're in the hustle and grind of survival mode. But I will challenge those, if you're listening to this, is that will die off quickly. If you have any level of success, you'll quickly realize that this cannot be about you. Truthfully, if you're buying from other sellers, distressed sellers, you have to solve their problems. It can never be about you. So anyway, that's all I've got for now. Thanks for joining me. Comment down below in the notes as to what drives you and motivates you. And back to the friend thing. If you're ever in DFW or you're going to any events that I'm going to be at, hit me up. I'd love to grab coffee or a beer with you. It's hard for me to do that and just pull away in day-to-day life, but when I'm out at events and out at like John Martinez's Sales Academy, other things that you might see me at, let's definitely hook up while we're there. So appreciate you a bunch. Have a great rest of the week. Stay tuned for more on the Investor Machine in terms of how our experiment is kicking off here. And thanks for following along. Have a great day. Thanks for listening to today's show. There are 3 ways I can help you start or grow your real estate investing business. If you're a new investor and just getting started, the Flip Nerd Investor Coaching Program is the most effective program in America. I've been coaching and mentoring new real estate investors for 10 years, and my students have literally purchased thousands and thousands of properties. Many of them started with little to no experience at all. Our program is a paint-by-numbers program where we tell you exactly what to do week by week to make sure that you don't get distracted on your way to results. We show you how to build a real business, not just create another job for yourself. New memberships are limited. You can learn more and apply or schedule a call with me and my team at flipnerd.com/coaching. If you're an experienced investor doing a minimum of 10 deals a year, up to 500 deals a year or more, or have a multi-million-dollar real estate portfolio already, you should check out our powerful Investor Fuel Real Estate Investor Mastermind. Over 100 of the nation's leading real estate investors are members, and it's not uncommon for our members to 2 to 5x their business just from getting around other members at Investor Fuel. At Investor Fuel, each of us are business advisors to one another's businesses, but we don't stop at business. We focus heavily on becoming better people and living fuller lives. If you're looking for fuel for your business or fuel for your life, please check out InvestorFuel.com. Applications and interviews are required, as most investors are not a fit for our community. Please learn more at InvestorFuel.com. If you're not ready for coaching or masterminds but eager to start learning more about investing, please join our private Facebook group by visiting flipnerd.com/Facebook. New members get access to free training from us right here at flipnerd.com, and it's a community to safely ask your questions, a great place to get started. Simply go to flipnerd.com/Facebook to request your access today.